Hey everyone, Melanie Minshinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I have a new project for you with my newest set from Gina K Designs, Stately Flowers 10, and I'm going to be showing you a couple different things today. A different way to mask this flower into the seed packet label, a little bit of the no line coloring technique, but also this really beautiful faux torn edge technique. It's just so effective, so easy to do, and we have really minimal supplies for today's project. The only stamp set that we're using is my Stately Flowers 10 set from Gina K Designs. One piece of cardstock. This is the Gina K Pure Luxury Ivory. This is 8.5 by 5.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4. The ink pads that we're going to be using today are the Gina K Prickly Pear, the Dark Chocolate, and the Tomato Soup. I was getting kind of excited about starting to work on some of our fall colors because we have a fall stamp TV kit coming out very soon. So I was really wanting to work with just those earthy shades. The markers that we're going to be using today, we've got the TN9 and the EB6. We've got the CG3, the CT3, the CG1. I'm going to be using the DR1, the CT1, the CT4, and then the BG3 for my shadow. And I've also got the pit pen if you want to add some white to the butterfly where it overlaps that label. So I'll be putting the cap up so you can see each of these. Although I've already done a video showing how to color the Oregon grape flower with the Spectrum Noir markers, I just thought it would be really nice to show, even though this is still yellow, how pretty it's going to be if you wanted to use some orange or red shades in there. So not like a true Oregon grape, but just a little bit different color palette here. You're also going to be needing some scratch paper or sticky notes to create the mask for your flower, and then you would just cut that out after you stamp it onto the sticky note. So I've just already stamped that and cut that to save time. And then I just like to use just some regular printer paper for making that torn edge mask. So let's begin by stamping our flower and our label onto the card front. So you want to score it, and you need to leave it open so that it's not going to pop up when you do your stamping on it. Fold it last. I'm going to stamp the flower this time so that it's overlapping the edge of this label today instead of going underneath it, and you can see that in my other video when I mask the label and then stamp my dogwood after. Today we're going to stamp this first. I think that y'all have all been really liking how I've been changing my layouts around, so I'm going to show you what it's going to look like if the seed packet is on this side versus on the right side of this landscape style card. So first I'm going to just lay my label on here so I can see where I want that flower to go. That's going to help me with my placement. I'm going to ink this up in the Prickly Pear ink. It's a nice golden yellow, golden brown yellow. Okay, so I want it to go, and you can, if you don't really want to have any masking, it'll actually fit just right in there, but I thought it would be pretty to look like it's overlapping the edges of the label. So I'm going to stamp it right about there. Remove this. Okay, so the no line stamping technique, you're going to use a shade that is similar to what you're coloring with, so you're not going to see the lines as much. And I could go even lighter than that, but I just used this yellow so that it would coordinate with the torn edge that I'm going to be doing in a moment. Now I'm going to stamp this label, and for this one I used a 6x6 block because it is a large stamp. Excuse me, we just got back from the beach, and just the change, I guess, in the climate, it's making me a little bit hoarse today. I apologize. Also, make sure you stay tuned to the end because I am announcing the winner of a giveaway that I posted a couple weeks ago in my bonus video showing those clear sets. Okay, so I'm going to check that under the light. I've got it good and inked up. Flip this over. Pardon my head if I get in the way. Oh, hang on one second. So make sure you put the mask down first. Sorry, I'm a little distracted by being so hoarse. I hope that's not too distracting today. You're the first people I've talked to since I woke up, so I just wasn't expecting that. All right, so pardon my head, but I'm just going to lay this right over. And I'm looking to get about the same amount of my mat all the way around that. And then I'm just going to drop it. Press all over. and lift it up. Okay, so that covered that up there. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that little dogwood, or excuse me, the Oregon grape above that. And for that, I'm going to use the dark chocolate. And this is going to fade a lot as it dries. And if you don't get certain portions inked, you know, I would just say to just go with that and make it be part of that vintage look with that label. And then I'm going to make this thank you card. So I'm going to put thank you on my bottom one. I can remove the mask now if I want because it's not overlapping this area. We're going with a tighter layout today. I asked a lot of you, and because I have just one camera, unlike Gina, I can't zoom in and out during the video or edit different shots together. So I'm trying to compromise a little bit so that you can see it a little bit closer. And then we're going to go ahead and add that butterfly. And this one, you could use a mask if you don't want it to look like a glass wing, but I do. So you're going to actually see the top of the label through this perched butterfly. So I'm going to have it just right on the edge of this flower, going over that label. Again, mask that if you want. Now let's make the torn edge before we start coloring so you can just see. So whenever I do the tearing, I just want it to kind of have some variety, so it has like some hills and valleys, maybe not as much of a deep kind of indentation there, but just get it however you want. Just don't want any straight edges. I really want to see that torn edge, okay? And this can work either way, so you can do it this way or you can do it this way. I'm going to put it on like this. And I forgot to mention that we need a sponge dauber. Obviously you're going to need that for doing some sponging. So again, I apologize for that. So we're going to repeat the Oregon grape image by just stamping it all over. And I love this look for making something that looks like a coordinating designer paper with your stamps. And then we're just going to go in just right up to that edge. And so you can already see how that's popping. And then I want to fill in some of this here, but I don't want to go too dark or to make it solid. I want some of those lighter areas to show through, and then it just creates a really smoky quality. But you want to go darker there at that edge. And then just pull it away whenever you think it's done. You can keep pulling back and forth to check it. You could also put some of this inside the card, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to stamp this off the edge here. There, you now have that nice little corner. One other thing that I wanted to show, I intended for you to be able to use this tiny flower, which is a match for the dogwood blossom, on the back of your cards. So you could do this in the dark chocolate or the tomato soup, but I'm just going to put it here where I can sign my name at the end. I just think that's a nice fun little touch for your handmade cards because it is a work of art that you've created. Okay, so let's go ahead and color this in. And I'm going to start by just laying down just this lightest yellow. Going really quickly today. And then just a little bit at the tops of those buds. Let's fill in the leaves and the stems now with the lightest green. And there's this little bud right here. And I said I was going to put the cap out here, so that's just a new habit I have to get into. So that's the CG1. And then just put a little tiny bit, maybe at the bottom of those buds. Okay. Now let's go to the CT3. And I'm going going to put that in all of those middle areas and where you just see those little contour lines and shading. So all the darkest parts of the flower are going to get that dark yellow. And then let's go to our darkest yellow, and that has a lot more gold in it. And just very quickly, it really blends when you're doing the no line technique, since I've used that golden shade for stamping the image. And you could keep going, you could do more blending if you want. I'm going to use this DR1 now on the buds. So I'm going to do some tip-to-tip coloring here. So here's the DR1, and here is the CT4. So I'm going to be coloring with the yellow marker and taking red off of that DR1. You see how when you first lay it down it's red and then it turns into this beautiful sunset orange. So you can make these areas as dark or as light as you want, but I just really like the contrast, and I thought it looked really pretty, that in between orange shade that you're creating to go with that tomato soup. So you don't want to blend too much. You really want to see both the red and then the orange go to yellow. And then I just want to pull just the tiniest bit of the red and the orange into these flowers, because remember, I'm just doing my own colors on this. It's not necessarily an Oregon grape, the true colors. And if you want to use, you know, something else here, or just leave that empty portion open so it doesn't say Oregon grape, by all means you can do that too. And then the final thing that we have to do is just to add some simple shadows on the leaves. Trace the image and the butterfly, and we'll be done. Oh, I've enjoyed summer so much, but I get excited for fall. It's really one of my favorite card making seasons of the year, so I'm really excited about the different videos I'm going to show you with this set and with other ones that I showed recently that were going to be released in clear. And we just got back from the beach, so I have some videos planned with Gifts from the Sea as well that I'm going to get out there to you before we get too deep into fall, and then it's going to be time to start holiday making cards for Christmas and winter. Okay, so I'm going to leave that like that, and then we'll put in just a little bit of this CG3. It's kind of a mintier green. Okay. And then I'm going to trace all of this with my BG3. And again, this looks so much darker to me than the BG3 usually does when I am stamping on the white cardstock. I'm also going to have the shadow drop down onto the tomato soup stamping, because it's going to be casting a shadow on that, and you can see that color over the rusty orange label. Then I'm going to do just a little bit down here below the butterfly and its wings. I want this to be a little bit darker. I may have actually used some of the DG2. No, I think I just layered it. If you want to add some more dark green in there, you can. And then I'm going to just take this EB6 for the body of the butterfly. And then the wings, and again, you don't have to color it the way that I did. I'm just kind of obsessed with these glass wings right now. I showed coloring it with the brown like it traditionally is in my sagebrush scene video. And then a little bit of this TN9, and this has some nice rust in it, so that's going to really kind of tie in that label. And then I'm going to use this white Pitt pen just because I want to go over the little accents right here. Just this white to show that this part is opaque versus the part that is going over the label. And that's it. Fold the card and you are done. So let me know in your comments which one you prefer. If you prefer the, I'll go this way actually since I showed this one first, the A layout or the B layout that I just demonstrated. I hope you enjoy this faux torn edge technique. It's such a great way to add texture and to add an additional layer to your single layer cards, which you know that I love making. Please enjoy all of my videos on Stamp TV and on my blog, Hands, Head, and Heart, and visit us at Gina K Designs for more of our stamp sets. Thank you for watching today. Also, just really quickly, I want to announce the winner of my giveaway from a couple weeks ago. Two of the comments that I chose, Donna Sherman, she said, I love the new clear stamps. It'll make them so easy to use. I really like the frame sets, so very excited about these. So thanks, Donna. I'm going to be sending you this card. Please get in touch with me so I can send it to your address. The second one that I'm giving away is this one that I used my former Gifts from the Sea. Please go watch that video, everyone, so you can see the tiny little tweaks I made to it to really pump up the volume and give you more value with all of the different images and greetings in the Gifts from the Sea set. But this one goes to Barbara Brennan, and she said, being forced to pick one favorite, Gifts from the Sea is my fave. I'm loving that shell border stamp. So Barbara, please get in touch with me as well so I can put this card in the mail to you. Thanks for watching today, everyone. God bless.